What is going on, everybody? We are live. We are live. WrestleMania Night 1 is in the books. We're going to be talking about it, recapping some of the matches, talking about the repercussions of what happened tonight, give our thoughts on our favorite match of the night, the worst match of the night, some other things that we're going to talk about. It's going to be fun. I'm here joined by Will O Firefox. We'll be talking wrestling. He's a big wrestling fan. He'll be also joining me tomorrow with along with some other guests to tailgate for night 2. So we are going to get it started. Thank you for joining us. Let's get it going.
Live from LA like the Lakers with a late show. Home of the Dodgers where the palm trees grow. Feeling like Ben Roethlisberger when he went pro. Where my stellar fans at? Everybody let's go. Magic ain't a gathering for the ones that don't know. Late night with Suge, y'all turn into the show.
Yep, we are live. We are live. I appreciate everybody here. It's a little late. If you're on the East Coast right now, it is about 11:30, close to midnight. And if you're on the West Coast, it's 8:30 and it's still early for us. But that's okay. We're gonna be talking WrestleMania Night 1, WrestleMania 40. We're gonna have an awesome time. Hope you had a good night tonight. Enjoyed the matches. Super excited about this. I'm joined by my good friend Will O Firefox. How you doing tonight, Will?
Hello, thank you for having me. I'm having a great night. Hope everyone in chat is having a good night too.
Yeah, it was a good night. We have a lot to talk about. We were kind of just talking right now about some of the matches already, and we're not gonna get too too deep on most matches. We're gonna talk about them, but we're gonna get more into the big matches, the ones that have some implications on night 2, or where exactly we're gonna be going uh, with some of the storylines on what happened. So if you want to talk about a certain match, pop it in the chat. We will talk about it. But a lot of the matches we're not going to get too deep into. So if you wanted to talk about a certain match, let me know. Let us know. We'll definitely. I'm sorry, I'm trying to do 20 million things at once. All right, so 91. We'll say what's up to everybody in chat. Nightlife question, guys. Am I the only person who thought the main event was awful? Oh, okay. Nightlife. You know what? Let me know why you thought it was awful. We'll get into that actually, because we're gonna have a segment of worst match of the night. So I would love to hear why you thought it was awful. So give us your thoughts. Uh oh, Brandon Buck. Nah, I'm the same. Uh oh, two people saying questioning that main event. All right, Rodney, what's going on, sir? How you doing? Hope you had a wonderful day. Uh, I didn't get to see any pictures of you at Raven Stadium, so I'm a little upset, but I hope you had a good day. Appreciate you. Shout out to Bronny for sending me the homie package that he sent me. I'm gonna put it to great use, Bronny, and you know what I'm talking about. As Brandon Bug laughs in the background. All right, so we're gonna go over some of you know what we're gonna do, Will, is we're gonna talk about the lesser matches that really don't have a lot of implication. We'll kind of just go over them real quick. Give us your thoughts. Give it how you feel about the match, and you don't have to give it a rating, or we could do a rating. I'm not gonna do. You can do like a 5 star, whatever you want to give it, but kind of give it a rating, or how you felt about it. And we'll start off with the first match of the night, the Rhea Ripley Becky Lynch match. Rhea defends her title. It went for about a good 15-20 minutes of a match. We heard that Becky wasn't feeling well and had to get IVs. She did look a little sluggish. The match wasn't bad, but it wasn't a great match. But I'll say for an opening match, it was fine. It was cool to see. How did you feel about this match?
I thought the match was great overall. I was impressed that Becky was able to go through with it with how with the illness she was dealing with with that really outstanding me, and I have tremendous respect for it. But I love the way it
Yeah,
finished.
yeah, yeah. It was good to see her out there. It sucks that she was sick, and it sucks that she had to deal with those illnesses. But you know, it is it it's one of those things that it's you just got to fight through it, and she did. And again, I think the match was fine. It wasn't horrible, which is a good thing. Had it been horrible, I think then we would be a little frustrated with it. But I'm perfectly fine with it. It was a decent match for an opener. So we'll see, and we'll actually talk about. So I was talking to you just a little bit behind the scenes. I think this sets up some interesting things with one of the other matches that happened tonight. So we'll see where it goes and where Rhea goes from here. Because she's a dominant champion, you got to give her a dominant opponent to kind of push her if you're going to keep the belt on her. So we'll see where we go from here. If anything, where would you like Rhea to go from here?
Well, there was something that we were discussing before the stream that we might discuss later on, but there are some opponents that we could see Rhea take on in the future.
Mhm.
Future that we might get to later that I would actually like to see. As for anything on Raw, I mean, I believe she beat pretty much everyone. I mean, I
Yeah.
guess her next opponent could be Liv Morgan.
I don't know if I want to see that though. I like Liv. Don't get me wrong. I like Liv, but against Rhea, I feel like, and we're gonna talk. I think you need to put a dominant opponent across from her. To push her. Um, to at least be like, okay, this person can beat her because she looks really unbeatable right now, and I'm okay with it. So Jay coming in already with the spoilers. Bloodline rules. All right, we'll get into it, Jay. All right. The next match that I think just we can just kind of about it was the Rey Mysterio Andreas defeating Escobar and Dominic Mysterio. We had Travis Kelsey and I didn't remember who the other guy was. He's a football player for the Eagles, current football player. I just forgot the name. Showed up and helped out. And Rey Mysterio gets a win. I was talking with somebody yesterday, Ferris Mutana, and we were like, "Look, I think Dominic should get this win because what does it do for Rey? Ray's not going to be wrestling every night. Lane Johnson, thank you, Brody. He would know. Thank you. Yeah, Jason Kelsey, Lane Johnson. Rey Mysterio's not going to be wrestling every night. He's not going to be a consistent wrestler. So what does this win do for him? So I thought they were going to give the win to Dominic, and kind of push him, start pushing him, because I think with the heat he gets, the Judgment Day, I think you should give him a push. And I don't know, it just kind of set him back a little bit, kind of set back Escobar. It didn't really feel right. I don't know. How did you feel about this match, Will?
So I have a kind of different opinion on this than you. I kind of actually like the fact that Rey Mysterio and Santos won only because something we're probably going to get to later because we didn't talk about it yet. Rhea Ripley was the only Judgment Day way to win member to win tonight. So
Yeah.
we could see Rhea like getting in Dom's ear like you said you were going to do this with Santos and you were going to get the win. You went into business for yourself, not Judgment Day business, and now the boys lost their tag titles, and you lost to your father again at Mania. What is on your mind? What are you doing? So it could draw some tension into the Judgment Day with Dominic doing this, or tension between Rhea and Dominic that we might need to see, and I think that could really change and freshen up the movement because I will admit I do think it's a little stale, just Judgment Day wreaking havoc every week.
Yeah.
I would like to see some tension between the group.
Okay. I agree with you. You know what? You convinced me. That makes a lot more sense. Nightlife, I'm not avoiding your comments. I'm going to be reading those when we get to the main event. So don't worry, I'm going to bring those up. But I see you commenting, and I got you. Okay, I'm gonna bring all those comments up. Appreciate you being active in the chat. Jeremy Miller, kind of going back to Rhea Ripley. Rhea is always great. I think it's time for Becky to take a break and maybe retire. I think Becky does need a break. I think this is a definitely a time to give her a break. Maybe bring her back a little later and set something up for her. But I think yeah, she definitely needs a break. And it was a good build up, but I feel because she was sick, you didn't get exactly what you wanted out of this match, and that's why I kind of say it was meh for me. But I think that yeah, you give her a break, and where I thought they were gonna go today, they didn't go with the ending of the main event. So obviously, something I feel like something's gonna happen tomorrow. So if that's the case, we may get Seth and Becky taking a couple months off to recover and relax, which I do think they deserve because they have been carrying this company for a cool minute. Going in, back to the Rey Mysterio match, Brady says I like the match a lot, especially Andrade. Okay, cool. Jeremy Miller says this they've been setting up Dom breaking up with Judgment Day now that Rhea won. Yeah, like Will said, this could set up a little bit of tension. Like he pointed out, which I didn't even think about, Judgment Day, all the members lost except for Rhea. This definitely puts a what the hell are you guys kind of doing speech coming from Rhea. If especially if Damian Priest tries to cash in, if Damian Priest tries to cash in tomorrow and doesn't succeed, then I definitely think Judgment Day is going to break up. If that happens, if not, if he doesn't try to cash or he does successfully cash tomorrow, then I see more of a like Jeremy said, more of a friction between Rhea and Dom. So we'll kind of see where that goes. Thoughts on that? Well,
I agree with that. That it would definitely cause more friction. But I can see people all over social media. Why didn't Pre cash in tonight?
yeah,
No, especially
that's
with
what
all
I
the
thought.
damage that
That's
Jeff went through.
Yeah, I definitely thought that's what was going to happen, but I think they're going to give Seth his moment, to be at least, uh, you know, he gets the main event tonight. Then tomorrow, I think he'll probably if he's the first match, to me that just smells like Damien's going to cash in on him, and something, or if Drew McIntyre wins, and Damien doesn't cash in, I'm a little worried about the Cody match then because I don't want that. I would say if WWE really was going to screw Cody, Cody wins the match tomorrow, and then Damian cashes in right away and wins it.
That's exactly what I'm thinking is gonna happen. And
Oh really?
Cal, I had a conversation with Cal about this, and he even said before the referee even gives Cody the title to hold up, Damian Priest is muted case. He comes in, cash in, and takes the whole thing from Cody, and Cody doesn't even get his hands on the title,
Mm,
and that
that
leads him to chasing the title once again.
that'd be so disrespectful. Oh my god, that would be so disrespectful. Um, yeah, I would feel so bad if that were the case. Oh, I would be mad. Um, okay. Yeah, wow. Let's get it. Okay, and we could talk about this match, and this was kind of where we were going with the whole Rhea Ripley defeating Becky Lynch. Uh, Bianca Belair, Naomi, and Jade defeat Damage Control. Um, Not only was just an awesome moment, you had three women of color together in the ring, which we haven't had we haven't really had ever. We'll have one or two women of color. Now we have a lot, and especially these three who represent. Obviously Naomi. She's been around for a while. Bianca Belair is kind of that. Kind of not new, but kind of been there for a minute, and Jade is new to the company, so you had like three different generations of wrestlers. And I said, to me, this feels like you have the opportunity to say, take Naomi and Jade, go after the tag titles of Damage Control, and then Bianca kind of going after Ripley, and them three kind of forming a group together. And you kind of were like, okay, I kind of could see that. This was a fun match to watch. I did enjoy it. But again, I think this just kind of sets up The tag title feud with Damage Control, and then a Bianca Belair feud with Rhea Ripley, giving Jade a title, and kind of letting her build until you put her into like the main event of the women's division. You put a title on her, keep her relevant, let her get seasoned, let her get people to get behind her, get her some heat, and then you can kind of move her into main event, versus like a Rhea Ripley, a Bianca Belair, maybe even have Charlotte come back and that be kind of a feud, and get her Charlotte's rub. How did you feel about this match? How do you feel about possibly setting that up?
I like the setup that you got. I mean, I wasn't too. It was a good match. I'll say that. I wasn't really too into it.
Yeah.
To it, I'm honestly a little tired of Bianca. I'm gonna be honest. Honest. Please don't hate me for it. But I'm really excited. I was really excited for Naomi and Jade. I was really excited about Dakota and the Kabuki Warriors. I'm also tired of Asuka losing at Mania.
Right?
But
Like
at
she
least
has these
Asuka didn't take the pin.
yeah, like she has all these, winning streaks, and then she gets to WrestleMania and loses. Like this is her third loss at WrestleMania, right?
No,
She's
this is
lost
like her
to
eighth loss at Mania.
really that many?
Yes, she never won at Mania. She ever since her first loss at Mania to Charlotte, she had lost at Mania every single time. She
Who else
lost.
has she lost to?
She lost. She lost the Battle Royal. She lost this. The ones I remember, she lost the Women's Battle Royal that they had where it was either Carmella or Naomi winning. Asuka lost to Bianca last year where Bianca won the title off of her, or maybe
Okay,
Asuka
so
didn't
so
get the title. But
she
almost,
is she is 0-6 at WrestleMania.
which I'm
That is
disappointed with.
wild. That is wild. Like she's had so many. She has so many um again, like she's had all these streaks, and then like she's 0-6. That's wild. I didn't even know that. Yeah, and I know for sure. Bronny is a huge Oscar fan. Justice for Oscar. Yeah, like that's
I am
wild.
I am also a huge Asuka fan. I loved her stuff in Japan. I loved her stuff in NXT. I love her stuff when she first came up and she had the undefeated streak. It's like ever since she had that match with Charlotte at Mania, her stock has just plummeted, and I'm just waiting for it to rise back up.
Yeah.
And it needs to rise back up.
Shout out to Wild Real Entertainment, who is my good friend Taylor Cleek, aka Triple R, one of the best heels in the business. Is Rhea going to be the only champ to retain this weekend? That is a good question. That is a very good question, because we did have a change of the Intercontinental Championship today. We'll talk about that, the IC title. Yeah, Asuka deserves a proper WrestleMania win. I didn't know she was 0-6. I was like thinking, okay, she's like 0-3, 0-4. Yeah, that kind of sucks. She's 0-6. Yeah, she needs a win. You got to definitely give her a win next year. You cannot let her do that. Wow. And Jeremy Miller saying the possibility why they didn't cash is I don't think they want to take away from the bloodline moment. Absolutely agree with you.
That I
I
agree
thought
with.
that I thought they would do a similar thing with Sammy if he became world heavyweight champion and face Seth instead. Okay, we'll see. We'll definitely see. Yeah, I agree with Fox. I think the Bianca needs a character change. The gleeful babyface gimmick can only last for so long. Yeah. We'll see what happens. I think that let's see what happens with this kind of group, with Jade and Naomi, and see where they go from here. Because I think you do want to keep if you're not going to keep them together, what exactly are you going to do for? Because now, like I said, Rhea Ripley needs an opponent. Fox mentioned Liv Morgan. I don't think when you look at Liv Morgan, like she's a good wrestler, she's a good entertainer, but against Rhea Ripley, it just doesn't make sense. Now, a Jade, a Bianca Belair makes sense. Naomi maybe, but I think Naomi's kind of not in that spotlight anymore. Being a main carder, more of a mid tier, or up, close to the bottom of a main card. To above a mid tier kind of thing. But you got to give somebody that you can feel could give Rhea a run for her money. Like you can't throw in Liv Morgan because if you throw in Liv Morgan,
Okay.
I mean, she's just gonna get powerbombed 20 million times, and we're just gonna be like, okay, cool.
Well,
Like, what's the point of that?
well, to explain my reason for Liv Morgan, remember, it was Rhea Ripley that took Liv Morgan out. With the thing that you mentioned about Bianca, I do agree that that could really work. But Bianca's on SmackDown, Rhea's on Raw. The draft is like still coming up with the next like a month away apparently. So what I'm thinking is until the draft comes up, Liv gets her shot at revenge for Rhea taking her out, but still comes up short. That's another good option from Jeremy right there. Shayna Baszler.
Shayna
Shayna
Baszler.
needs something good to go
Yeah.
up.
Thank you,
Go
Taylor. I
up.
appreciate it. Yeah, they're probably talking. It's gonna be interesting to hear from The Rock because he kind of went to the heel and Roman just kicked out a woman for booing him. Full embrace, Roman. Full embrace. All right. Let's get into the tag titles because we kind of all knew this was coming as soon as they announced it. And as soon as you saw the match, they had the two separate tag titles. You're like, all right, they're separating them now. There's not going to be a unified tag team. They're gonna separate them. And we got two champions that I didn't think it was gonna happen. We got Grayson Waller and Austin Theory being the SmackDown Tag Champions, and Awesome Truth winning the Raw Tag Team Champions. Um, I'm okay with Awesome Truth winning. It's a very interesting choice with Grayson Waller and Austin Theory. They're getting some heat. I don't know if you saw the video of them working out and somebody walked in front of the camera. Now it might have been a setup. I'm not sure, but they walked in front of the camera and Austin Theory started going after this person and was like, "You wish you could look like me. You see me videotaping, da 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 da," which is a common thing happens in gyms and people getting upset about it. So they are getting some heat. What was your thoughts about putting the SmackDown titles on Grayson Waller and Austin Theory?
I love Austin Theory and Grayson Waller. I'm a huge fan of the tag team effort. I believe, if I remember correctly, the person that they had that argument in the gym with was actually like a social media influencer. So I think it may have been
Okay.
staged to
Yeah,
get
probably.
some heel heat on them.
Yeah.
I don't think it was actually legitimate,
Okay.
but I was not expecting them to get the SmackDown tag titles. I was expecting Awesome Truth to get the Raw tag titles down. But I was expecting the DIY to get the SmackDown tag titles down and go down because I just want DIY and AOP to go at it again.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah. I think that and Jeremy said it was weird having two winners. Not really, because I think they're gonna go back to having two, because you had six teams in the tag match. With probably what you still have on Raw, I can think off the top of my head another three or four teams. And SmackDown, you may have a couple teams, especially that call ups from NXT. So you have enough teams to make a a division on each show. And I think me and
I can name at least
I
six
don't
teams on each brand.
yeah, and I think I had this conversation with Bronny. I don't know if it was Bronny or Hendo, but remember back when like there were just legitimately teams that were just for the tag titles. Like that's all they were there for. They weren't, like we kind of get these like weird like, oh, two singles wrestlers, we put them together and make them a team, and then they kind of go off, maybe win the titles, things like that. Like we're not doing that. That back in the day, that wasn't a thing. There was teams. They came in together and they wrestled together as a team, and that's what they were. And I think we're kind of going back to that. We're gonna go back to that. Hey, you guys are a team. You come in as a team, and that you're just gonna be wrestling the tag titles and not really doing individual stuff like we sometimes see. So I'm okay with that. I'm okay with them splitting it. Yeah, but the reason why they did that, Jeremy, is because they wanted, like, how else do you split it? Like there's no way uh there's no way to split the belts if you have it like if they're unified. So they
The only
basically said okay, they basically said okay, we're just gonna they're individual belts, and then whoever gets them gets them. That was the only way you could do it. You couldn't really split them. That's the problem.
I think the only way you would split the tag titles if they were both to be taken down at the same time is if two separate teams take down the individual brand belts. I think the way they did it, where both belts had to be taken down and they were taken down at different times, was smart.
Mm-hmm.
Smart, but if you wanted to just have them split but the belts had to be taken down at the same time, two different teams had to take down like one of each belt. Then that's how they would split them in that scenario.
Yeah, but I'm okay with how they did it. And like you said, it was smart. But now, like you were kind of mentioning off camera, the draft is rumored to be coming up soon. So we're gonna kind of see where the teams go, and I think that's what Triple H is gonna go for. Is like, okay, we're gonna actually have a tag team division. It's not gonna be individuals just kind of thrown together. We're gonna have a tag team do this. We're gonna have New Day. We're gonna have
DIY, LWO,
yeah,
Legato.
LWO. Who are the ones that challenged Priest and Finn Balor, and then they're kind of like wrestlers. They were from NXT. I forgot who their names were, but they did kind of some cool stuff. They won like a gauntlet match to play them or to fight them.
New Catch Republic.
Yeah, yes. Yeah, them. You also have the Hurt Business. You have who is calling me?
Well, they're called the Pride now, but we also have the Final Testament. You have also over on Raw. There's also Pretty Deadly. For other teams that we have on Raw, there's I think the OC has gone down to NXT.
Yeah,
and why am I blanking out on Raw teams right now?
Yeah.
In this year, that's one. There's also Creed Brothers.
Yeah, the Creed Brothers is who I was thinking of. And again, with the draft, you're going to be able to, you'll be splitting, teams, teams. So you're going to be able to split them up, and if you can have at least 6 or 7 teams on each show, I think you're going to be okay. I think we'll be fine with that. With 6 teams that are constantly fighting for the belts. Gather 3 or 4 teams, split all teams, and do 2 separate 3-way matches. Winner gets the belts. Would force together a new team or something along those lines. Oh yeah, see. If they're doing it going forward, then have a different tag match on night 1 and 2. Well, I think they need. The problem was, Jeremy. I think
the
they
tag
needed
titles
to.
are currently unified. They had to split.
Yeah, they were unified.
Split them in the match. They pretty much ununified them.
Yeah, so now they're ununified. Now they're their own separate thing, and now you say, okay, cool. You have Raw, SmackDown titles. Go fight for them. Because you couldn't separate them because the team had them. The Judgment Day had them. So, all right. Let us. So we talked about that one. Talked about that one. Rey Mysterio. Okay. We'll get into the Sami Zayn Gunther match, but I want to talk about the worst match of the night, and I'm very disappointed about this because.
And we're in agreement on what this is.
I was so frustrated because I thought the promo for this match was amazing. The setup for it was amazing.
The build and the hype.
The build and the hype. And it just was so disappointing. And now I'm talking about Jay and Jimmy Uso. It was just, I don't know, just something was missing. It was weird. I don't know. It just wasn't good.
It was essentially just super kicks and splashes.
Yeah. Like, it just did offer any kind of emotional, like, again, with that promo, I was like emotionally invested, and then it kind of just, The Rock is doing the conference now. Okay, let us know what's going on. I'll have to watch the conference after the show.
I'm watching. I had the conference up with like muted and subtitles. So if he says anything like
crazy,
I'll let you know.
Yeah, I'll bring it up and do the same thing. And we're definitely going to talk about Rock's entrance because let me tell you something. I absolutely love the fact that he brought back Hollywood rock music. That literally got me going. That was just amazing. Hollywood Rock. I think the best version of rock is absolutely Hollywood Rock, and I think his best entrance music is Hollywood Rock music. And
Oh,
they
I
and
agree.
the fact that they played it tonight was amazing, and I loved it.
Well, he's had it back for the past few weeks.
Has it? I thought it was the other one.
No, it starts off with his normal "If You Smell What the Rock is Cooking,"
Yeah.
and then it transitions to the Hollywood Rock music.
Okay.
It
Because I had seen people on
seamlessly.
TikTok using that, and I thought maybe they just could kind of create, made it up. And I was like, oh, this is best. Why is he not using this? So maybe I just wasn't listening to the music. I feel like the issue they have the same move set. Jimmy can't seem to carry a match by himself unless he's with Jay, and I've seen Jay have great matches. Yeah, it was just
It's just
something about. Yeah, go ahead.
it's the way they built this match. The way they built this match, it felt like this was something that, because they both admitted they wanted to do this for years before they even got into WWE, that they
Yeah,
wanted to have a one-on-one match. And the way that it's all being built up with all the emotions and everything, I was honestly expecting a brawl. The reason I feel like this is the worst match of the night is this just felt like a standard Monday Night Raw or Friday Night SmackDown match that you can get weekly. This didn't feel like a pay-per-view worthy match, a WrestleMania worthy match. It was missing that WrestleMania spark for me. It was a good
yeah.
match. It just wasn't a good WrestleMania match.
Yeah. I think this is like a Monday night main event match, and I think you're right. I don't think this should have been a wrestling match. I think this should have been a brawl. This should have been a backyard brawl, a last man standing kind of match because
Bloodline rules.
yeah, it just felt it just felt weird. Like you said, there was nothing but super kicks and splashes and hitting each other. There was like no submission. Yeah, they didn't deliver on emotion at all. Like when the yeah, a no 100% a no rules match. Like when they did the whole like when his brother told him to stop, when Jimmy told him to stop before he super kicked him and then was like saying I'm sorry and then obviously you knew it was a setup. I didn't feel anything. I was like, okay.
I mean, I like that. I like that it was a
I
setup
liked
for this.
it.
It
Yeah,
just
but
you knew it
it
was
fell flat.
coming and you didn't really feel anything about it because they didn't have the emotion of, like, the way it would have worked with Jimmy saying I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, and then going in for the attack while Jay is bringing him up. That brawl, that, like, I wouldn't say bloody because we don't need the blood and everything, but the brutality of it
Yeah.
of it. Uh,
Yeah.
am I allowed to bring up an example of something from that wasn't from this show that could have been used here?
Yeah, you can do whatever you want.
Uh, I would have liked something similar to the Jeff Hardy Matt Hardy WrestleMania 25 match, or
Okay.
their I Quit match from the Backlash following it. Like, just that general aspect of the brutality of those matches. I would have loved that here with the Usos.
Okay. Yeah, love it. Yeah, something like that would have definitely worked. Real quick, going back to why he couldn't handle being out there without a belt. He totally told him to make me a custom one. Yeah, and it was when he came out with it because I didn't watch the Hall of Fame last night, and so when he came out with it, I was like, what the hell is this? And then when they said, oh, this belt was given to him last night, I was like, makes sense. It's like the BMF belt of UFC. It's like, okay, cool. It's a dope looking belt, but you know what was the point? And it's the shirts, yeah,
It's the Brahma
uh,
Bowl Championship belt remade.
yeah, pretty much. By the way, if you said Jay and Jimmy was the worst match of the night, I agree. Sloppy, poorly structured, did not feel big. Absolutely, 100% green. Uh,
And I also agree with that statement.
Damien's dumbass is gonna crash in on the Rock's belt.
I made a joke on that in our Twitter chat.
That would be amazing. Um, Jeremy says the bill was fine. I just don't think Jimmy can carry a match by himself, and I've seen Jay do it with other people. Yeah, just like the main event should have been the tag team element was completely placed. I don't agree with you there with the main event, and we'll get into that in a minute after we talk about the Sami Zayn Gunther match. Big Reg, what's up, sir? How you doing tonight? Hope you're having a great night.
Hello,
Make
Big
sure to
Reg.
check out Big Reg's show, Big Boy Talk, and all the stuff he be doing. Having some great commentary, great conversations. But don't ask him about setting screens. Um, don't ask him about that. If you know, you know. Hall of Fame is worth watching. Heyman's speech alone. I did hear Heyman's speech was great. I will be definitely checking it out.
Heyman's speech
Probably
was
gonna
also the longest speech.
probably tonight when I'm laying down in bed, having great dreams about Iowa going to the national championship tomorrow. I will definitely be watching all the stuff I missed, Hall of Fame speeches, these interviews. I'll be able to watch it. So yeah, I think the main event tag match basically descending into a no DQ brawl was a good way to set tomorrow's stakes when the Rock's involved. Yeah, because we're gonna go. Okay, well, I want to talk about the Sami Zayn Gunther thing kind of quick because it's gonna. I feel this match
Trust me,
is
everyone, we're going to
gonna.
be spending a good 15 minutes talking about that main event.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna talk about the event. So I see all your comments. We'll definitely talk about that. But I think this Gunther Sami Zayn match is interesting because it's gonna set something up depending on what happens tomorrow. And what I mean by that is Sami Zayn won the Intercontinental Championship from Gunther. Gunther having one of the longest reigns of the IC belt in a while. Has been a dominant champion, and they set up this kind of storyline of Sami Zayn doubting himself, the kind of Rocky 3 movie type storyline. And you even saw it where he was talking to Chad Gable, he was talking to his wife, to his son. He kind of does this whole Hulk up thing toward the end of the match, which was kind of weird because he's like flailing everywhere. It was still a good match, but that's kind of weird, just how he was flailing everywhere. Like, I don't know, it's kind of weird. Like, I didn't get it. And he ends up winning, and so it's a big moment for Sammy. He's kind of had these weird WrestleMania moments where he obviously he had a wrestle Johnny Knoxville, things like that. So he got a big WrestleMania moment. But you took a dominant champion off the board in Gunther. So I'm just thinking basically this is going to be Gunther's moving up to he's going to be going for a title now. He's going to be either going for the world heavyweight or the WWE title. Which is
Absolutely agree with
what
that.
this is what it's pointing to. So I'm fine with him and it was and you can kind of see, like, now that you're older and you kind of watch wrestling a lot, you can see when things happen. So when Sammy pins him, he kind of stays down there and is talking to him. He's probably telling him thank you and things like that, and good luck on your next your next thing, because they're probably going to push Gunther toward the main event. He's going to probably be wrestling for the title, might even get it. So he's moving up to bigger, better things. Sammy's going to kind of stick the IC title, probably feud with Gable and things like that, and kind of do that whole scenario and see if he can kind of get some of that heat back that he had last year. Because I don't think they fumbled the bag with Sammy, but I do think they had to make a decision. It was between Sammy and Cody, and they went with Cody. And Sammy has kind of lost some of that heat that he had, that major heat with what he had with the bloodline, and you kind of sacrifice that for Cody. So it's kind of like, okay, let's give him some of the heat back, and hopefully this IC title will give him some of that heat back. What are your thoughts on this match, and where we go for Sammy? Where we go for here for Sammy, and where we go for here with Gunther?
I love the pre-match build-up that we had with Sammy talking with his wife and his son in the backstage area. We got another one of those coming up, like, new classic WWE camera scenes where we go from Sammy talking to his kids, kid and his wife, then talking with Gable, going up to make his entrance, and then he runs into Kevin Owens, and he has an embrace for Kevin Owens and a moment for Kevin Owens, all with no cuts as he's making his entrance. And then I love those no cut and camera scenes that we're getting now, which are outstanding. I thought the match was a 5-star match. match that is a match deserving of 5 stars. I think this is a coming out party for both men. Both men. This gives because the IC title has not felt as important as it's been in the
No,
past
you're
couple of
right.
years with Gunther's reign of it. This IC title, in my opinion, is at the same level as both world titles right now with how prestigious it is because of Gunther. I think the IC title is going to be back where it was in like before my time of when I was watching wrestling, where the IC title led to superstars getting brought up to the world title scene.
Yep.
Superstars that have held the IC title that went to the world title. Randy Savage, Shawn Michaels, just to name a couple. I think that's where Gunther's gonna go. I think we see Gunther in the world title picture by Bash at Berlin. I
Yeah.
think Sammy's gonna have a good title run with the IC title with some classic matches with like Gable, maybe Bronson v the trying to think of a couple other names that we could see him going at it. Maybe JD McDonough and him have a good match for the title just to name somebody. Buddy, I can't really think of anyone else, but we could see some great matches.
Yeah, I was talking with somebody the other day, and we were talking about how the IC title was that kind of stepping stone to to the WWE Championship, and so again, like I agree with you, Gunther's going to that level, and now you got Sammy, and I think this is going to help Sammy get Sammy some of that heat that he had back. Again, kind of like Rhea, you got to find that opponent that's going to push him and make, because when you don't have an opponent that can push you, it just makes the title less and less important. And you're right, the IC title hasn't been relevant for a while. Like maybe Miz had kind of made it relevant, and it kind of went away, and things like that. So I want to see what they do with this IC title. Now I'll say it because I'm old school. Bring back the old IC belt. Stop you that the one they have now is ugly. I get it. Gunther had it. I hated it. It's so ugly. Bring the old IC belt back. Whether it be the white, before your time yellow, which was for the Ultimate Warrior, or just go
The white
to the
one,
black.
that Cody Rhodes brought back when he
Yeah,
first won
yeah,
the IC title. That one is what you're talking about. The one they had before this one.
yeah. When Miz had white, but then you're right. Cody had white before that.
There was the
Yeah,
yellow strap because Cody brought this one the one from the 80s, the Ultimate Warrior time that you were talking about, but
yeah,
with the white strap instead. I mean, I don't mind this current IC title design, but I do definitely prefer that one.
yeah.
I think that was an absolutely great title design.
Yeah, talking about the Gunther match here. um, Jeremy Miller, are you gonna try to recap the women's game tomorrow? We will see. We will definitely see. Sammy and Gunther gave a 5-star match in my opinion. I still can't believe the brainbuster off the top rope. Yeah, I thought he messed up. I thought he botched that move, and I was like, oh, but I think Sammy was able to protect Gunther, and then they set it up. So,
I got excited for that Brainbuster. You don't see Brainbusters much often in WWE right now.
yeah, well, because they're trying not to hurt somebody.
Yeah, I mean, I think Sami Zayn's the only one they like literally trust to do it with certain wrestlers. So I was surprised that he brought it out with Gunther.
Yeah,
But
especially Gunther. Yeah, especially Gunther. Gunther and Sammy should have had more time because these guys can go when needed. Yeah, with their match, let me see. They had a 15-40. They had a 15-minute and 40-second match. The longest match prior to that
was the
whoa,
tag ladder match at 1725.
yeah, 1725, and then Rhea Ripley's, and then obviously the main event was super long. Um, I think that I think that they might you should have given them 20 minutes. I mean, with what they had, they did a really good job. So I'm not too frustrated over it. But I think you got you could have given them 20 minutes, and it would have been fine. I thought Gable was going to screw over Sammy, but it looks like they might get an actual feud with no interference. Yeah, I think that's what's going to happen. He kind of it was a reference to like Rocky 3, where he says, "Oh, you owe me a favor." this is going to be, and they're going to kind of feud. The storyline will be
Gable,
Payne.
Gable saying the same thing. Okay, you got that title. I want a match. That's my favor.
Yeah.
I want.
Yeah, Gunther delivers two of the best matches on back-to-back Manias. Glad he's finally getting the main event. Yeah, they're definitely got to move him up. I think once Sammy drops the IC belt, he'll finally win one of the big belts in the main event. That could be a possibility. I'm scared to ask what Sugar's drinking. He got that Japanese delivery, so no telling. It's just water. I'm not drinking today. I woke up with a headache this morning after drinking those 2 beers last night, so I didn't drink. Big Reg. Now they need to find a way to raise the presence of the U.S. title. He seems not to be a Logan Paul fan. I think Logan should retain tomorrow. Yeah, I had to actually ask someone. I go, "What's going on?" I put it in our group chat on Twitter. I was like, When's the U.S. title?" And they're like, "It's tomorrow," which I was real surprised about. I figured that would be today, but tomorrow. And this card wasn't bad. We'll kind of give a rating to this card later on. This card wasn't bad, but I very surprised the U.S. title is going to be on tomorrow. I think you could have moved that Bobby Lashley Philadelphia Street fight kind of to night one, and then moved maybe the Jimmy and Jay to night two. But as bad as it was, maybe good thing you didn't, or the Rhea Ripley match. Um, I don't know. It's just something I don't care for the street fight that's going to happen tomorrow, but we'll see. Sorry if you haven't mentioned already. Just me, or was the crowd really off tonight? Pretty quiet for a sold out Mania crowd in Philly. The problem was
It was extremely cold.
it was extremely cold. It was an outside stadium and it was 50 degrees. People's
With
nipples were
15 miles per hour winds that were making it feel like in the low 40s.
Yeah, they were freezing. That's the problem. They were hyped in the beginning, and then that degrees dropped. The wind was blowing. People were like, "My nipples are hard," and they didn't want to cheer for nothing.
Because you even look at the crowd, everyone's wearing like sweaters and all that.
Yeah, they need to bring out the heaters and just Jeremy and Big Red talking about Logan Paul. Logan is a terrible champion. How the U.S. title should be a regular on the show. I like the white and blue version, but it should be more old school. Green is a weird choice. Oh, you're talking about the IC title. The U.S. title doesn't have the level of prestige to be only there for PLEs. Okay.
Well, I mean, Logan has been coming to more and more SmackDowns lately. He did sign a full-time contract
recently. Yeah, he's there. But I understand what Reg is saying. Like, you kind of need to be wrestling all the time. But I get it. But, it is what this one here. Yeah, Sammy's Brainbuster was nuts. I would love to do the Brainbuster on you, Taylor. Can I do it from the top? Sammy hit that super finisher. I thought Chad was going to come throw the towel. Yeah. 50 is not extremely cold. I'm sorry that you live in the snow, Rodney. I don't know, but that's cold to me.
I mean 50, personally, I don't think 50 is cold at all, but I actually am a lot. I'm the human furnace.
There you go. They can zip up their coats and start fucking cheering. It's Mania, bro. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I mean, that people were cheer louder during a football game. Look at the Bills fans. Yeah, that's true. I don't know. I don't. Again, it's night one. Just didn't seem. Again, good matches. All that stuff. There wasn't really. It wasn't. I was entertained, but I think tomorrow.
They were loud for our truth.
They were loud for our truth. I think tomorrow's just going to be nuts. I'm in Baltimore, and the wind's been killing it here, making the cold worse. Oh, that's right. You are in Baltimore. Yeah, that The Rock just confirmed Cody winning tomorrow. He said he's going to give the fans what they want with Cody finishing the story. Is that what he said? I'll have to go back.
I'll have to go back and watch it. I highly doubt Rock actually said that it would spoil that so heavily.
I'm gonna bust your brain and what CW season 2. Haven't I beaten you like 4 times? I don't know. I don't think you really ever beat me. But you're the commissioner, so you probably set it up to beat me every time. If you don't know, Will, my buddy Taylor, he does a 2K24 wrestling stream. He has a whole company set up. Yeah, yeah, and he picks like the weird. It's kind of cool because he picks like fake. characters from like Michael Myers and things
Yeah.
like that. But then he's taken people that we've all that he knows and made them into wrestlers. So he has like the Twitch Championship belt, which I was the first winner of. And then he has the Watt heavyweight title, which I was also a winner of, and I got screwed out of. Um, and so he has a whole thing. It's kind of dope, and he commentates on it. He lets the AI kind of figure it out. We just did a what was it, like a ladder match for the Twitch Championship belt. He's done cage matches. It's really dope. It's actually a pretty cool thing, and he kind of
Gonna book you to
narrates it
get.
as yeah, it's
He's
pretty
gonna
fun.
book the Montreal screw job.
He is. He's gonna screw me over because he always does. Jimmy is not a good singles competitor. I almost felt bad for the crowd. Was so quiet for that match. It wasn't good though. Yeah, it just wasn't a good match. I was irritated. I think the hype for tomorrow made tonight more subdued. Yet very true. The middle
That I
part
agree.
dragged, but I still enjoyed the show. Yeah, I enjoyed the show, but it did kind of drag. It was very just like slumber,
I
and
honestly think I honestly think the Usos match like pulled all the energy out of the crowd, and they just didn't have the energy
to
to
recover.
recover
Well,
from it.
the main event did bring out a lot of cheering, and people were into it. And we're gonna talk about that match. I think you beat the Rager, but we never wrestled. Well, I mean, that's the same thing. You are the Rager. What are you talking about? You are the Rick the Raddus Raider, and I need to go on and make you do the impression again. He gets mad when I do that. Go watch it. He says it. He even praised Cody Crybabies.
Uh,
Watch. Yep, absolutely. Um,
One
all
more
right,
thing before we
let's
get to the main
sure,
event.
absolutely.
Big Red saying Jimmy's not a good single competitor. He's an all right single competitor, but he's more suited for the tag team Vision. I think Jay and Jimmy's being split up has proven that Jay is the better single star. But we now have Jimmy and Solo that could form a tag team that can go for the tag teams over here on SmackDown after the tag titles are split up. So that's something that those two can do for the Bloodline. Bloodline with Roman getting ready to take some time off and Rock probably disappearing also. Also, we could see Jimmy Uso and Solo Sikoa take off for those tag titles to bring some gold to the Bloodline.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, we're gonna get into the main event now. So the main event: The Rock and Roman Reigns defeated Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins. Now, the entrances, love them, and I can't wait for tomorrow because there are gonna be some cool interests tomorrow. But I'll say it again: Hollywood Rock entrance is amazing, and the fire and the lightning was awesome. I loved it, and I think that's why this match was 44 minutes because literally the entrances took 20 minutes. It took like a good 10 minutes for them to all get down to the ring. I don't know what Seth Rollins was wearing. He was wearing
It was
something.
something.
It was something. And it was funny. But we'll
I
kind of
did
get. Go ahead.
I did like the subtlety of Rhodes and Rollins merging their logos together on their attires. Because if you look closely, Seth Rollins has his SR logo with the nightmare wings of the outer edge of the nightmare skull, like how
Okay.
Cody's nightmare skull had those like wing things at the edge of each one. Those things at the edge of the nightmare logo were like the middle was Seth Rollins logo, and then Rhodes's entrance jacket had the nightmare skull and Seth Rollins logo merged together on the back of Cody's jacket. So I did like that they sort of kind of had respect for one another with their logos. I kind of wish their attire matched a little better.
Yeah, yeah. It was where Seth's. I like Seth's gear. His entrance clothes was kind of interesting, but his gear was dope. But yeah, they did. They were real. They didn't match, but they're not going to be a tag team. But I didn't notice that. That's a good catch. And then we got the Rock entering with the Hollywood Rock music. Roman Reigns taking 20 minutes to get down to the to the ring, and then the entrant, presenting them and everything like that. And I think that the match started off slow, and I thought to myself, okay, they're gonna go slow because Rock has not been in a match in a long time. It may be a slow match where we see more Roman and more, Seth and Cody and sparingly The Rock and everything like that. But then when they started taking the fight out of the ring, and people were, and we're gonna get to because Nightfall was saying this, they get out of the ring and they start fighting, and it turned into like a brawl. You hear The Rock tell the ref, "If you count us out, I'll effing fire you." And they're like, "Okay, well, it's just a brawl now, and like no countouts." And they, Seth and Rock were out in the stadium with the fans, and Roman and Cody were up the ramp, and I think it started to build. You got some excitement there. When's the last time you seen The Rock outside the ring? Wrestling and taking some pretty good bumps. And I like that. I was actually very entertained by it because I did not expect that to happen. I expect this was going to be a standard match. In the ring, kind of. Not Rock not getting a lot of touches. He was in there. He took some insiguris to the head. He took some super kicks to the head. He took a crossroads. He took a couple stomps. Like he was in there. And you know what? Shout out to The Rock. So I didn't think he was going to do all that, especially taking those moves from them. I didn't think he was going to take them. Hell, I thought he had it in his contract never to be. He thought he had it in his contract to never get beat, which he didn't get beat, but he got physically beat because the fact they got rock bottom through a table, to the announce table, not expecting that at all. Not expecting it at all. And Nightlife, we're gonna get into your comments right now. But as I get to those comments, Will, why don't you go ahead and give me your thoughts on the main event? We'll talk about the finish in a minute, but give us your thoughts.
I agree that it was a slow build to build. I honestly think the only reason it came into a brawl is because the company wanted the fans active in the arena for the main event, and because of the cold and everything and the lack of energy from the previous matches, they turned it into a brawl for the main event, and Rock was using his authority as being an executive on the board to prevent the referee from doing any countouts or disqualifications or anything, which I was annoyed by, but it's also to The Rock's current character, so it works in a sense. It was driving me nuts that we had The Rock do a blatant low blow to Seth Rollins in front of the referee, or blatantly whipping Cody Rhodes with the belt. It's just I don't like the authority of getting involved in matches, because this pretty much felt like that. As Nightlife says here, it wanted bloodline rules regardless of who won the match. Like, this match felt like a precursor to what the bloodline rules match will be tomorrow.
Yeah.
So this turned into just what was going to be probably a regular tag match, turned into a preview for what's going to be tomorrow, which I kind of like and understand, but I can't understand where Nightlife is coming from, being annoyed about the blatant breaking of the rules.
Yeah, I get it. It was funny though, because when you turn to the ref and say, if you effing count us out, I'll fire you, or if you do this, you die. So yeah, you're right. It was blatant. It was like, okay, like Nightlife said, why can't he just turn into a bloodline match if he has all this power? I mean, it was just I think it was cool. I think it was funny. I just don't think they're gonna let that happen, or you're gonna get somebody like maybe Triple H coming down and kind of, putting Rock in his place, things like that. Really don't know. Now that I say the Mama Rose thing was a big deal to the build-up. It was done badly today. If more is to come tomorrow, fair enough. But today was awful. I liked it. I liked how she was yelling at him, and Rock was hitting his arm with the belt and getting all crazy with her. It was pretty funny. Nightlife talks about the cold. The cold crowd forced the guys to do an audible and head outside early to get the crowd going. Rock definitely legit hurt others, maybe too. The match itself made no sense. It made sense to me, and I get where you're coming from. The main event turned into nose match even earlier on. So what was the point of suddenly going back to tagging each other? They should have better off staying at 2-on-2 street fight. Yeah, that's true. Um,
That's another thing. Just going back into making a regular tag. Once they started brawl like that, I would have been like, okay, if The Rock grabbed the mic and was like, whoa, 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 no, 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 you are not counting us out. You are not doing any disqualification. This match is now a Bloodline rules match, and that would have went into his authoritarian character, and then it wouldn't have been just us watching the Bloodline beat up Seth Rollins for 15 minutes while Cody's standing in the corner doing nothing because these guys are just all brawling, and now suddenly Cody Rhodes is just standing in the corner watching Seth Rollins get beat up
yeah,
for 15 minutes. And I mean, anytime Seth Rollins got close to getting a tag in, Roman or The Rock would knock Cody off or get him out of proportion. Like, what was the referee gonna blatantly disqualify Cody Rhodes if he got involved? Like the Bloodline were getting involved. Like, if you want to go crazy like that, just change the match rules mid match. I think they have done this in the past where it's like changing the rules mid match. I can't think of an example off the top of my head, but I feel like I remember it happening in the past.
yeah,
And then like it would have been all set. I think that's what kind of put it off for some of the fans is that it was pretty much The Rock and Roman Reigns doing whatever they want, and Cody Rhodes just trapped in the corner, unable to do anything.
yeah. And I understand. I like The Rock having control. It gives more of a reason to give Cody's win feel more special. Definitely defeating the Bloodline and The Rock's final boss power. Agree. Nightlife, kind of giving his opinion. And the build up to The Rock is portrayed as powerful. The final boss is supposed to be stronger, harder to beat. Right? What was so powerful about him tonight? I
His
would
authority.
say, yeah, his authority and the fact that he's not only screwing over Cody, he can possibly screw over Seth. That's there, you know,
Well,
and
he
that's why
did
they
say
were
in the
both
promo
in.
he did
Yeah,
say in
go
the
ahead.
promo on SmackDown down he's guaranteeing Cody is not leaving WrestleMania with the title, and he's also guaranteeing that Seth Rollins will be losing his title at WrestleMania. He'll do everything
Yeah,
in his power to make sure both of them lose at Mania.
so that's why they were both in the ring, kind of with that shocked look after on their face when they lost. That they both know now they can be screwed over. Um, it wasn't as if he hardly took bumped. His superpower ended up being he can influence a referee. If you can't see how crap that is, I can't help you. I mean, if that's how you feel, I didn't have a problem with it as much. Again, the slow build was kind of like, okay, I thought it was just going to be a regular match, kind of just keeping Rock, you know, to little to no interaction to protect him. But when they started getting outside, Rock getting thrown through the table, and he got thrown into a barrier. It was real. It turned out to be real dope. He took a lot of good bumps, especially from Seth and Cody, and I had no problem with it. And I think it's kind of dope to see him do that again. It's not that he has influence on the ref, just the refs. He has influence of most of the company. They took their sweet time, but the destination was worth it. Absolutely. Yeah, yeah. Rock did it better than what I expected. Absolutely. I thought the Rock took a rock bottom from Cody through the tip. Yeah, that was nuts. I didn't think that was gonna happen. Yeah, I didn't think Rock was gonna fully go either. So big credit to him. Absolutely. The final boss is the hardest challenge. It's why Cody bumped heavily in the ring. Yeah. Okay. And they had me convinced Seth and Cody were going to do it after Roman speared The Rock and the double pedigree. Yeah. It's logical to be a bit annoyed if the feud wasn't good. I would be more annoyed with it. There's nothing special about his powers. It's just he can abuse his employees. The authority did that for years. Yeah, it is kind of an authority kind of thing. I agree with you. Okay, I did it years ago. Always love when a finishing move sets reverse on the wrestler, like a rock bottom on the Rock. The magical power of finishing moves. Yeah, tomorrow's gonna be this, but also just Solo and Jimmy get to be there. Yeah, I think I have a theory of what's gonna happen tomorrow, and I'm gonna do that tomorrow in our Tailgate. I'll be giving my thoughts that I got one wrong today. I thought that Priest was going to cash in, but it obviously didn't happen. Exactly. What's the point of the tag? I agree with you there. What was the point of the tag if you were doing the street fight? I think you're right though, Nightlife. I think they just decided like, hey, we got to get the crowd going. Let's make it audible. Let's go out and then beat up on each other and then bring it back in. So I was okay with it, but it's inconsistency with what happened. So I get what you're saying. I mean, is it really breaking the rules if you already know he has the power and just didn't think about it more because it wasn't called bloodline rules? Possibly. What are the chances we get Stone Cold appearance tomorrow? I don't think we're getting a Stone Cold appearance. I think we're getting another person's appearance. I don't think it's gonna be Stone Cold though, but could be wrong.
I could see Stone Cold coming in, but I highly doubt.
But then Seth and AJ and Orton and Owens and Sammy and Jay and LA Knight and John Cena and Stone Cold are gonna wrap in through portals to save the day, like the Avengers. With the Avengers, Avenger. I thought Mama Rose could slap the rock, but maybe saving that for tomorrow. Absolutely. But she was cussing him out, and I was loving it. She's all son of a bitch. I'm glad they finally set up Roman and Rock especially with the spear just to ready to see where it goes with the tribal chief power versus the final boss power. Yeah, I thought Taylor said that when he speared him, I thought maybe they had him, but no, they didn't. When was his when his authority character comes into play in this feud? If that was true, why didn't the just say him and Roman are main event? Only the dumb commentators mentioned his role as director. Okay. The final boss is like a video game final boss, not a boss as in their boss. No, you're fine. You're good to rant. All good. That's what we're here for. After a certain point, I just enjoyed the match. He was always going to poke holes in the rules, even if it's not official. I wish they would have been more upfront with it, but it's fine with it. Okay, yeah. I mean, yeah, it's shitty, but he's a heel. He's calling himself the final boss, like he's a big bad wrestler, but in reality, his political power is just to call the shots. Yeah, Taylor, we're heels. Jeremy Miller and Taylor would get that reference. Who's the other person? And what? Who do I think is going to
I
show
think
up
he's
tomorrow?
I don't know if he's alluding to me or not.
Okay, well, this is Willow Firefox. He is on the Aftermath podcast with Delisha and Kingslayer. They do
Occasionally.
after occasionally, so make sure to go check them out. Uh, the fact that the match fell apart and no one got DQ'd demonstrates that Cody is against tomorrow. It's not just bloodline, but rules can be changed on the fly just to spite him.
That is,
Uh,
I absolutely agree with.
okay. Yeah, I've been
Oh,
thinking
okay.
about Dustin. He's been tweeting at The Rock, but I don't know what his AEW contract. We'll again tomorrow. I have a theory. Um, I'm still thinking The Rock turns on Roman tomorrow, prevents anybody from helping him. Roman loses, and then The Rock versus Roman down the line. Well, we know that Rock likes to set up a WrestleMania a year in advance, so I feel like there's going to be Rock versus Roman next year's WrestleMania. Oh, not the we're heels. No, I meant who Suge thought was showing up. Um, but I'll follow Fox. Thank you. Uh, yeah, I was Tongan Kid. I thought Tongan Kid was going to show up today with the Jimmy, and I thought we were going to get Rikishi and possibly Tongan Kid and Solo showing up. That's what I thought we were going to
I
get
think
today.
Tama Tonga is going to NXT though. I think we're gonna. That's why the OC went down to NXT. I think Tama Tonga and the OC are gonna get back together, bring the OC into NXT, and they're just gonna run ruck shot all over NXT like the Undisputed Era did.
Okay. Um, and I don't want to do too much on tomorrow because we will be doing a tailgate, so we'll talk about that some more tomorrow. So make sure you guys join us tomorrow at 1:45 PST tomorrow, I believe. So if you we'll be right back here at this channel, but we'll have a lot more guests talking about WrestleMania Night 2, and we'll kind of get their thoughts on WrestleMania Night 1. Yeah, how the hell has Rikishi not shown up anywhere for any of this? Exactly. They brought it up and then they didn't like do anything with it. So that was weird. That's what I was saying. That was weird. Oh shit! They just asked Triple H about Brock Lesnar. What did they say? Ask about Brock Lesnar. Is he like getting shitted on or shitting on people? Like what happened?
I think they're
Uh,
wondering if Rock is coming back or not. I didn't see anything, but I didn't like
well,
notice
it's
anything.
so like
So
we could talk about it because we're not employed by WWE. The Vince McMahon thing. Let's be honest. It's kind of disappeared. Nobody's talking about it. Like
I
there was a big old lawsuit was coming. He's being sex trafficking, all this stuff, and it's quiet.
well, it's been quiet, yes, but it's still going on. Like
It's still going on, but it's not like remember after Rumble, like all these people were asking Triple H about it. They asked Cody about it. How are you going to protect the women of WWE? Things like that.
I
And
think the reason it's coming up again because I saw someone tweet out that the reason WWE is doing all these shots on AEW and doing all this stuff to try bringing in and everybody is because it's apparently a new witness that's going to be coming up that's going to be named within the lawsuit or
mm,
something like that. That I don't know. No, I mean I don't really follow all that. I have like I despise Vince and John Laurinaitis for what they did, but I have personal reasons for
mhm.
that I'd rather not discuss on stream or online anywhere
Yeah,
publicly.
yeah. Excuse me, I was taking a drink. Yeah, no, I totally understand. Um, uh, Taylor saying all he said was basically Brock still technically works there, but for now he's at home and we'll see. Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, as much chatter as there was about everything, like, we don't see it as much. Like, you still have people that are talking about it, on TikTok, on Twitter, and things like that. But it was like a big uproar. And, like, people were like, WWE is done. And now people have kind of not stopped talking about it. So, like you said, if there's another witness that comes and are going to be named, that's going to be very interesting to see who it is and what happens. Um, so
well,
we'll kind of see what happens.
well, I don't think it'll affect WWE anymore because Vince is completely out of WWE. They made him like sell all of his stocks, so
Yeah.
he has
No.
like no way to get back in any sort of power, anyways. When it comes to WWE, he's completely gone. So there's no
Yeah.
chance of him coming back.
Well, there's some of the interesting things was one was Triple H was named as a witness in one of the lawsuits, so that was interesting. But last night at the Hall of Fame, because I seen the clip of it, Shane McMahon was there. Shane McMahon had left the WWE, and there was rumors that him and Vince were kind of going at it because of certain things and possibly one
Wait,
of those
Shane?
things.
I didn't see Shane there. I saw Stephanie.
Yeah, Shane was there. Shane was there. They were going back and forth with Shane and the Miz. So yeah, Shane was at the Hall of Fame last night.
I did not see
That's what I'm
that.
saying. Yeah.
I knew I saw
So
Stephanie. They constantly were showing her.
yeah, no, they were showing Shane. I saw the clip of it today. I didn't really see
I have
all
to
of it.
find it because I did not know Shane was there.
Yeah.
He didn't do anything. She's
But was from a it was from a previous year. Okay, then you sure? Oh, okay. Well, then I'm wrong. Never mind. See, when you get things offline, uh, they're not always right. Let that be a lesson. We'll see. Let's wait and see if the shit goes to Discovery and Impact Superior. In my opinion, absolutely. I don't think it's in the news as much because he's not in the company anymore. Um, Brock is being investigated. I think he's on a decent terms for Heyman. Even shouted him out last night. Yeah, and for Heyman to shout him out, but Heyman goes against the grain no matter what. So, you obviously heard him talking last night and kind of throwing shots at Vince McMahon. So it is what it is.
Because
Uh,
as far as I know from the thing on Brock Lesnar is, I think he still is under contract. I don't think they terminated his contract, but he's like on a inactive sort of role right now because of the incident, and they to protect themselves from like PR and everything, they completely erased him on all that, but and limit mentions of him. That's why he was removed from the 2K game and only in Showcase.
Yeah. Steffi was there, and she was implicated as possibly helping to cover up the sex trafficking scandal. So yeah, there's rumors that Stephanie got pimped out to Macho Man and stuff like that. Like there's so much bad shit
Those
that
are
probably happened we don't know about. Like
those
it's
rumors
wild
about
shit.
Stephanie was also linked to Nick Khan, and both of those, both the ones on Stephanie and Nick Khan, were proven false.
Okay,
False. So
on the Macho Man thing.
no, not on the Macho Man thing. On the
Okay,
implications of Stephanie and Nick Khan knowing both those implications were like literally a day later were being like debunked and disproven.
okay. Well, we'll definitely see. There's probably so much stuff we don't know about, and if it does come out, then it's gonna be interesting to see where the WWE goes from here. I think Triple H is doing a great job as far as just keeping it on the wrestlers and keeping it on, positive. And like Paul Heyman said in his speech last night, because I did see part of it, they're Triple H is making it a place for wrestlers to want to be and wrestle. Like they want. There was a time. I think you would agree with. And Taylor will agree with me too. There was a time people really thought, no, they don't want to be in WWE anymore. Like WWE isn't the place. Like to be creative with your character and things like that. And now it's kind of switched. Like it's kind of like, yeah, I can go to WWE and kind of work on my character and try to suggest things and see what will work and get some good quality matches in. And I think Triple H has changed that. I think
Oh,
he's
absolutely.
really, and you see what he's done with Cody. You see what he's done with Seth. You see what he's done with Roman. Right. The call to turn Rock Hill. Um, I think it's a great thing, and whether or not Triple H was the one that came up with that stuff or took the advice of somebody, like I think that was the problem with Vince is people would go to Vince and say, "Hey, we should try this," and Vince would just shoot it down. If it wasn't his idea, he'd shoot it down. Whereas, Triple H comes and goes, you go to Triple H and say, "Hey, I have this idea." And he'll say, "Okay, let's run with it and see if it works." And I think that's a good thing. Heyman cracked me last night. He said Triple H when he called Triple H and said to Steffi, "You married the wrong Paul." Absolutely, that's pretty funny. Nick Khan hasn't been accused of being implicated in the crime, but his name is in the suit as having met with the victim several times. Interesting. I don't want to get into legal stuff because that's just a slippery slope.
Yeah,
But we'll definitely see
I
where
agree.
where that's gonna go from here. Again, we are going to talk about night two, but we're going to talk about night two tomorrow, in the tailgate. So make sure you guys stop by. We're going to have a lot of people on, and we're going to be having a good time talking about night two, getting people's thoughts on night one, and just having a really good time. So make sure to join us tomorrow. And is there before we get out of here, chat? Anybody in the chat, Will, what anything else you want to bring up about night one, and so we can put a bow on night one? Actually, what's your rating? Give me your rating in chat if you want to give me your rating on night one. Whether let's just do best, 1 through 5. Give me a rating on night one.
For rating for night one, I would give it a 4.25 stars.
Okay. Okay. 4.25 stars. So you took that quarter of a star. Got it.
Yeah,
Okay.
4.25.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's see real quick. Read these comments. Triple A actually cares about updating the business. Absolutely, because he was a wrestler. The flaws with tonight's missteps can be easily fixed. Learning lesson for Triple H. Absolutely. Shout out to Brandon Buck. Make sure you subscribe so we don't miss tomorrow's tailgate. How do you feel about the constant fucking ads everywhere? I mean, they gotta make money.
Money.
They gotta make money. Like, look at it. I wish I could promote those ads. I'd do it. I would have a big old Wingstop right here and insurance right here if I could, if I was getting paid, you know. You know, if I was getting paid and everything, I would do it. You know, they're getting paid. That's they're making a lot of money, so why
Yeah,
not? Now
they
it's
ain't
a
give, they
I
ain't give
didn't
it a
okay.
four.
So I'll say this, Taylor. I didn't like the why is the prime bottle in the middle of the ring? It
Oh,
looks
that's
like a UFC ring. I get it. It's Logan's drink, and
get
you're
used to it.
supporting
That's gonna
Logan.
be in every PLE from now on.
Yeah, I didn't like it. I didn't care for it. Like, you want to put it on the side of the ring? You want to sure, but right smack in the middle. Oh, I didn't like it. I like it. All right, Taylor Cleek. 3.5 out of 5. Sammy and Gunther in the main event did a lot of the heavy lifting. Absolutely, I agree. Jeremy Miller gave it a 4. Shout out to Jeremy Miller. Jeremy Miller, what was your favorite match? Let me know. I get the hustle, but God, it was eyesore. Yeah, it was really weird. 3.75. Very disappointed by the Uso. The Uso match just man. Like I would that
I was
promo
expecting so much
was
more.
great. Like that's a promo like for Brodney and Jose if they ever split up in LBHT. Like, that's the promo right there. And then the match fell. That match felt flatter than the fucking Tom Brady's balls in the NFL when he was deflating them. Like, it just was bad. You know. I'm fine with the ads, but why are they all over the ring? Exactly. That's the point. Like, why are they all over the ring? Because they're making money off of it.
Yeah, we also had the
I didn't.
prime logo on the turnbuckle pads.
Both turnbuckles. The only middle one was a W.
The
Was a
top and the bottom ones.
yeah. Like, good God. If you're gonna do that, put Prime WWE and put Wingstop at the bottom. Do 3 different ones.
And we had the prime
screw it.
model on the outside of the ring the entire night. How
They
many
ended up
times was those knocked
that was
over?
in the match. Getting like I was like, what? I didn't mind it on the match. The turnbuckles, like the glaring LED barricade along ringside. What they do sponsor every. Well, when the main event happened, it was all like white. It was like some insurance company. It was like all white, so it made everything really bright. So and like one match was Wingstop, another match it was something else. Like, yeah, I get it. Sammy Gunther, but the main event is very close. Got it. Like, it wasn't even WrestleMania and Brandon most of the time. It was fucking dude wipes on it. I'm not my brother's keeper. I was like, let's fucking go. Yeah. And then it just ended up being
It just
a snooze fest. And it being a Hallmark movie. You're like, wait, what's going on? Thought this was going to be a blockbuster and it ended up being a Hallmark movie. Like, yeah. Yeah, the insurance one was hideous on the main event. It was like bright white. And like, Jesus Christ. It made Seth and Cody look white as fuck. Like, it really did. I love how The Rock just took a drink of water and put it to Prime. Yeah. And he spit it all over Roman. Or Seth. It was kind of funny. Yeah. Rock taking the spear was interesting. Well, I think Taylor mentioned it earlier. That does set up like something happening. But if they we're all talking about if Cody wins the belt, and if Roman just wins it cleanly, Cody's going back to the independency. Could you imagine? Well, it's a clean win. Cody just loses.
I'll give my opinion on that tomorrow. And I will be here.
That would be so. Rock sold that spear like that. Yeah, he sure did. He sold a lot. He sold a lot of the. He got insecuried and he got super kicked. I was very surprised he took those. Surely it makes sense if Austin comes back to take the Rock out and Cena comes back to take out Solo. Solo Spike Cena, if I recall correctly. Yeah, that's so much though.
I mean, Solo is dealing with the defeating John Cena curse. Solo has not won a match since defeating John Cena. He's like 0-30 something since he beat John Cena.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. I just think that's too much. I don't want you to take away from Cody if he's gonna win the belt. Like have now. My theory of someone showing up to help Cody, we'll talk about tomorrow, and I think that makes more sense. Someone mentioned it earlier. It makes more sense. I don't want Austin and Cena to show up. I'd rather have someone that's close to Cody show up, help him, and win the belt.
Oh, I think I know who you're talking about. I'm not going to mention it, but I think I just figured out who you're talking about. And it totally makes sense.
I get it. Everybody saw the trailer. You saw Rock and Austin and Cena, and like everyone's like, oh, WWE doesn't do that. Okay. I think it's too much. It takes away from Cody. Um, I'm fine with as long as it doesn't take away from Cody and Roman. That's what I'm saying. I feel like it would take away from Cody, but if it's someone close to Cody, then it doesn't take away from him because it makes sense. Ted DiBiase Jr. And then Randy
Guys in
Orton comes
jail.
back and they form was it Legacy again?
Yeah, but Ted
Like
DiBiase is in
Randy,
jail. He's in jail for like the rest of his life. He ain't coming
yeah,
out.
and Randy's like 50. Randy, you know what? Have you ever gone back and looked at Randy from bald head Randy? Like that guy was a menace. Like that was like the best heel ever. Like he was like a
09 Randy is still the best heel working
yeah.
recently.
09 Randy was nuts. He was over there punting everybody down. My Mysterio broke him out of jail. That'd be amazing. That'd be amazing. For this WrestleMania, I think I am gonna give it like a. I'm gonna give it like a 3.85. I think the main event and the Sami Zayn match, like Taylor said, carried it. But I think the Damage Control Naomi Bianca Belair Jade match sets up something big. I like the fact that they split up the tag titles, and I think Rhea Ripley, you're gonna have to put somebody in front of her that's gonna challenge her to give her a good feud. Because other than maybe a Charlotte Flair, which we've seen Charlotte, all the time, so I want to get new blood. Um, you got to give. I don't think a Liv Morgan. I don't think any of those. I think you got to give her a Bianca Belair, or you're gonna already push Jade, because I think that if you give Jade the tag titles, let her carry those for a little bit, and then move her to the main event, it will give her some legitimacy. If you just put her right in the main event right now, um, I'm afraid of her not getting the heat that she deserves, and I think I don't want to do that. I think you get her a belt. Because it's not like the men's division where they have the U.S. title, the IC title, they have all these other belts. They don't have that for the women. So I think you get her the tag belts, keep them on her for a while, defend them. You have a good feud with somebody, and then eventually move her to the main event, women's main event, and go from there. And I think it would just be better for their careers. Let me know if how you guys feel about that. Other than that, I think this just was a decent night one. I think night two is going to be way better. I think there's a little bit of a couple matches that are just a little like meh, like the Bobby Lashley match is. But I think other than that, like even the LA Knight versus AJ Styles match is very interesting, and I'm excited for that one. The US Triple Threat match, and then you got all the big matches out there that are going to happen tomorrow. I just think the Bobby Lashley match just feels so out of place. I don't know why. Like maybe you could replace that with putting Sammy and Gunther night two. I don't know, but it just feels so out of place, and I don't even know if I'll care to watch it. I'll be more excited for the LA Knight
It's gonna
AJ
be a
Styles
street
match.
fight.
Sure, like is it gonna be a real street fight? Is someone gonna get like beat with a baseball bat or a bottle, or like make it a real street fight? Don't make it a wrestling match. Jay still looks green. She keeps posing after barely pulling off a move. That's what she did. He's not seeing her muscles, Jeremy. That's what she got to do. That's what she's gonna.
I enjoy Jade's work in AEW while she was there. She's an excellent worker. Is she a little green? Yes, but she has an amazing aura to her, and she's being presented so well.
Yeah, yeah, and she's gonna get. That's what I'm saying. If you put the tag title on her with Naomi, and they get her going, I think you'll be okay. I think that would you and then you could put her in the main event. Um, Needs a few to elevate her skill set more. Her running WWE was a champion who just squashed everybody. Yeah. Laughing about what the Young Bucks apparently announced that they're going to show backstage footage from All In on Dynamite. The AKA the Punk Perry fight, probably trolling, but what? Yeah, I kind of want to see it because I don't know if anybody saw Punk was on the Area Hawani show and he was talking about all the stuff that went down with AEW. It's so funny though. Someone pointed it out like every time Punk leaves a company, he talks trash about him, and then he comes back and goes, "I missed you guys." Like, all right, bro. Like, cool. We like glad you're back in the WWE, but like you were like straight trashing WWE when you were in AEW and when you were doing all that stuff. So it's like okay, but um, we'll see what happens. Um, you got anything else you guys want to talk about? Put it in the comments. Will anything else on your mind about night one or going moving forward?
Nah, I think I'm done talking night one, and I'm leaving all my talks for night two tomorrow because I will be here tomorrow.
Yes, we'll definitely be talking about night two. Um, I gotta see what time. Let me just check something real quick. I might do a live stream after the women's uh national title game, which is at 12 p.m. So yeah, ooh no, I won't be able to do it. So actually, yeah, because we'll be doing the stream while the title game is going on. So if you see me randomly yelling during this stream tomorrow, it's because I do have the Iowa, South Carolina game, and I'm assuming everyone's gonna tell me that South Carolina's gonna be blowing out Iowa, so I won't have to watch it. So hopefully that's not the case. But tomorrow, 1:45 PST, we will be doing a tailgate for night two of WrestleMania. So come hang out with us. I don't know if we're gonna do a recap after WrestleMania, but we will definitely be doing a tailgate. Um, and if you do want to watch a recap, I believe that this Monday, Aftermath will be doing a show, and when they come on tomorrow, they'll be able to announce that. If you want to talk more wrestling, I don't know if I'll be doing one later that night. We'll see. Maybe if it's really exciting and some cool things happen, maybe I'll just jump on and I'll send out a link to people. And if they want to jump on and talk about it, we'll jump on and talk about it, or join me in the chat, whatever you guys want to do. But we'll see what happens tomorrow. Um, yeah, and since Punk did that interview, AEW has been going full PR mode. Like everything is great here. We love it here. Yeah, I
They
mean,
had Edge do
yeah,
a 20-minute promo talk about how AEW is the best place to be.
yeah, yeah. It's well, they got to do damage control because they know like they want to compete with WWE. And we were talking about this the other day. Um, I think we were talking about it last night. If you are a WWE fan, you do kind of want AEW to do good because competition breeds greatness. We saw when WCW back in the '90s started to take over. We then got the Attitude Era. Then we got Austin. We got Rock. We got all these great um,
Yeah, competition
wrestlers.
breeds good entertainment to
Yeah,
wrestling because when WCW fell and WWE had no competition, they stagnated and they just held their
yeah,
course and they didn't do anything that was. I'm not saying the Ruthless Aggression era was not meaningful or bad or anything because it was the era that I grew up on was the
yeah,
Ruthless Aggression era and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the work that we got out of that, but I went back and watched the Attitude Era, and I was like, "Oh my god, the Ruthless Aggression Era. It was great, good. This is great. It's the quality is lowered, but
yeah,
with AEW and then TNA picking up and other wrestling companies picking up and doing well, we're getting great long term storytelling wrestling coming from WWE again."
yeah. Absolutely, I 100% agree with you, and they need that. And so there's nothing wrong with AEW thriving. If you're worried about wrestlers going over there, like WWE can offer the most money for most wrestlers. So you want the best wrestlers here. You want the best wrestlers, but you also want wrestlers getting out there if they're not. And people don't remember this with ECW. Like Vince had a deal with Heyman. Like, yo, I'm gonna give you talent to go over there, and then you kind of bring them up to us as they get better. And Heyman was fine with that because Vince was helping Heyman with ECW. So it's okay. You can work with your competitors, you know,
Yeah,
and but you can
it seems
also
like
have
we're in a working relationship with WWE and TNA right now.
yeah. So you got it's okay, and that's what we kind of need. I don't think competition is going to matter in terms of booking. It's been a non-issue with Triple H. Yeah, exactly. I think, but the shots, the taking the shots, that like uh, Taylor was saying, oh, AEW is so good. It's like as a WWE fan, you want them to thrive because then it breeds competition. Because then you like Will said, then you don't get complacency, and the wrestlers don't get complacency. They want to try hard because they don't want to get beat. They don't want to look bad. AEW's will pay top dollar for the biggest wrestlers in the world. WWE will pay a lot too, but they are more invested in making homegrown talent like Bianca and Tiffany and Roman. Yeah, exactly. They want to build their homegrown, but they're willing to pay to bring people in. But they also want the competition. Like I think Triple H, he understands competition because he was there when WCW and WWE were feuding. He was there, you know, when Raw and SmackDown were kind of feuding with each other. You hear about Paul Heyman talking about it. Like those, they were feuding, to kind of be who was the better show in WWE. So it's okay to have competition, and it's okay to be able to say you like both. Even maybe if you just like one, that's fine. But say you like both, it's okay. Don't get mad at people for liking AEW or WWE. Enjoy it. We all should.
Because I say it's okay. It's okay to take shots at companies occasionally. I don't think it's okay to do it excessively. Like
Yeah.
I mean, I think the Young Bucks do it too much. Too much. I do think AEW can't stop mentioning WWE, which I think does hurt them. It's okay to take the occasional shot like WWE does at AEW, or like I think AEW should just cut back on the shots that they take and
Yeah.
don't keep bringing up situations that made them look bad, like the whole debacle with Jack Perry and CM Punk, or the brawl out, all made AEW look bad, and they keep bringing that up. It's like, oh well, you're bringing up the bad portions of your bad history, so why should we care about you? And AEW has a tremendous amount of talent. It just has poor management and poor uh, judgment of actions that they do.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Well, we've been on for an hour and 30 minutes. I didn't think we were going to be on this long. So it has been a great night of wrestling. We're going to be back tomorrow. Like I said again, 1:45 PST, 4:45 Eastern.
Yeah,
Because I
that's
believe
4:45 my time.
Yeah, because I think WrestleMania starts at 7, probably like 7:10. So I want to get everybody out of here. Last time, me and Delisha got out right when WrestleMania started, so I want to give a couple people. I want to give people a couple minutes to get out, get their drinks, get their snacks, be able to sit down and watch them matches and have a good time. So make sure to join us tomorrow. We'll be here talking night two and talking uh, expectations and what do you think is going to happen and surprises. So make sure to come hang out with us. We'll let the people know where they can find you and follow you for any of the content that you do out there in the spaces of the internet.
All right, you can find me over on YouTube and Twitch at Willow Firefox. I do live stream gameplays of Let's Plays or multiplayer games that I get viewers in on. My next stream will be taking place on Monday morning Eastern Standard Time at 9:30 for my next episode of Persona 5 Royale. If you're interested in that Suge, I do appreciate you having me on tonight, and I will be glad to be here again tomorrow.
Absolutely, really appreciate you jumping on with me. Because if I would have been sitting here talking to myself, it wouldn't have been as fun. And so you made it better for me. And you can find me Suge Knight 323 on Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube. Uh, and Suge Knight 1323 on Twitch. I said that wrong. TikTok, Twitter, and YouTube. Suge Knight 323. Suge Knight 1323 on Twitch, where you can find me usually playing Fortnite, Magic the Gathering, or any other games I feel like playing. Uh, Steel Conspiracy is still going to be a thing. I just got to figure out which date and days to do it. Shout out to my co-hosts Rodney and Hendo. We'll be probably doing stuff around the draft time if you are into NFL football. Appreciate everybody hanging out tonight. It was a fun show to do. It's definitely gonna be fun tomorrow. Gonna have a lot more people talking. I'm really gonna get some expert that really know about wrestling and talk about wrestling. So make sure to come hang out with us. I know you guys are going to enjoy it. So have a good night. Stay safe, and we'll see you all tomorrow. Peace.